Hi, today we're going to be talking to Dinesh Haribai, who is a minister, who is a speaker, who is an author also, and an entrepreneur. We're going to be talking about some of the pitfalls that you can avoid if you're starting a career. So I know a lot of you that are listening to our channel are basically just starting off in that career, maybe earning 20,000, 50,000, 30,000, and you're not sure of some of the pitfalls that you can avoid or you should avoid in the start of your career. So we're going to be talking about some of the pitfalls that you should avoid as you start your career. So Dinesh, thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate your time.
Thank you, Tebogo.
Right? So Dinesh, please walk us through this journey. What are some of the pitfalls that people are getting into, or some of the problems that people get into in the start of their careers, and how can they avoid them?
Well, Tobacco, the most danger that people face when they start off their careers, and not just starting off, even futuristically speaking, is that people tend to go after a credit card. And a credit card is the biggest con under the sun, in my view, because they charge you the maximum interest. And so let's say, for argument's sake, you're starting off on 5,000 Rand with a credit card, and you see this nice shirt that you like, and or something, maybe a nice piece of jewelry, or a nice pair of shoes, and you don't have the money, but you have the credit card. So what you tend to do, or what, if you're not disciplined, rather, you may say, you know what, I can take that money from that credit card, and let's say, for argument's sake, you buy that pair of shoes from the credit card, and then comes end of the month, you don't pay that credit card debt. Comes another month, 2 months, you're not paying the debt. That pair of shoes that's 500 Rand is going to eventually cost you 1,000 Rand. And what's going to happen is you depleted your own 500 Rand savings because you lacked discipline, and you made financial institutions become more stronger. So if you take 500 Rands times thousands of people doing that, what happens is most of the malls in South Africa and on a global scale is owned by banks. We are making them more rich and more wealthy. Why are we doing that? They understand better, even before you were born, how the system functions. And they know, if I give you a credit card, that 9 out of 10 times you are not going to be disciplined. You are going to spend that money. So if you take that 500 Rand for 10 years or 20 years, you could have an extra 6,000 Rand, 10,000 Rand. My understanding is, I'm not foolish. I understand that most people don't even have a spare 5,000 Rand. But if you just follow a simple rule, by being disciplined, you could literally save yourself 10,000 Rand. Something happens in the family, you got to spare 10,000 Rand. Why make these institutions more wealthy?
More wealthy, yeah.
On your strength, rather, on your efforts, where you're working a proper 8-hour or 9-hour job per day, and you wake up at a certain time, you're on the road at a certain time, you're in traffic, you leave at a certain time from the office, and you get home, you're perhaps tired. So the purpose of the work was to bring you money. But who should that money be brought for? It should not be brought to make a financial institution rich. It should be brought for your own benefit and your family's benefit.
So I think I also agree with you there when you're saying the biggest problem is with credit cards, because there's so much interest rate that they're charging on the interest on the credit card, and also at the same time, when you take that credit card, then you keep on taking money from that credit card. You keep on paying the biggest amount of interest rate, and the system is designed in a way that is basically there for you to keep paying, and then take all that money and then keep paying interest, because they make money from the interest that you keep on paying into that credit card, as opposed to the small amount of money. So if you have 100,000 credit card, they want you to take all that 100,000, and you pay a little bit. Let's say your monthly payments are 5,000 or 10,000. I don't know how much, but if it's 10,000 a month, they want you to take they take interest rate from that 10,000, and they leave a little bit of money on that credit card, and they want you to take all of it again, because they want to charge you again and again for that credit card debt.
Right? The purpose of that tobacco is to keep you as a slave So whilst you are enslaved, they become more and more wealthier. And they can go to the fancy island, shareholders, while you sitting and slogging,
paying
for
for
their
that.
good life, for their Porsche, for their Ferrari. What about doing it for yourself?
I think that's one of the biggest problems that people are facing today. And what are some of the other pitfalls that people that are just starting off in their work and their careers? What are some of the other things that maybe they can avoid doing in order to not be stuck financially in the future?
You need to highly discipline yourself from your first salary check. So in other words, if you are earning 5,000 Rand, you cannot live like somebody that's earning 15,000 Rand. So you need to budget yourself. Let's say your travel is 500 Rand for the month. Let's say your food is 1,000 Rand for the month. If you are going to eat like a man that earns 50,000 Rand, and your food is 6,000-7,000 Rand a month, and you're getting this 5,000, like I said, which means you have to get into the credit card to buy food. So what's happening is the second month or the third month, or depending however long you go with this thing, you are going to be constantly stuck in a vicious cycle of the system taking your money. That's the problem we're having with microloans in South Africa, because a lot of people don't have further disposable income, and they need money for food. But if you do a proper check, you'll find that the problem lies with you as the individual, because you didn't have discipline. So my advice to you is that rather live, if you're getting that 5,000, live at a cutoff of 3. Live at a cutoff of probably 3.5. Don't go more than that. So if some emergency comes in, you got to spare 1,500 Rand. So if you could do that, and you do that month after month, it's a matter of time you will start to succeed. And you will start to have more money than people that were working for 20 years because they didn't follow the same principle that I'm teaching you.
I love that. I love that.
Thank you.
And please tell me about this again. I've seen it with a lot of people that, I think this is also a pitfall where someone starts earning a salary, they earn 20,000 Rand, and all of a sudden they want a BMW, and they want another car, and they want this, and they have this, like they don't afford to live according to, the salary, or they don't live according to their means. Is that another pitfall that people
definitely, definitely. I know, particularly with guys, they want to get the BMW to impress the girls. Guys, if you're going to start like that, and you don't get a proper financial break, you're going to end up perhaps losing your car. And those girls are going to end up laughing at you. So rather circumvent that from the beginning. Build your monies gradually. And if you take it one step further, let's say out of 20,000 Rand, you had to pay for a BMW 5,000 Rand a month. If you save 5,000 Rand a month for 12 months, you would have 60,000 Rand cash. You could start a small business that can enable you to build that 60 to 200,000. And that 200,000 can take you to 2 million. And from that 2 million, you can go and buy the BMW cash for 500,000 Rand. But if you're doing it the other way, is you're putting the cart before the horse, as opposed to putting the horse in front of the cart. You got it upside down. You don't want to have it upside down.
But now, Dinesh, here's the problem. Here's someone that's just started working, they're earning 25,000. They need transport to go to work. They need transport to do certain things and there at work. So now what must they do in terms of the money that they're getting? Are they not supposed to get a car? Based on that advice, what are they supposed to do? Because now this person doesn't have the money. They just started working and they need transport to go to work, to commute from work to whatever. So what happens there?
In that instance, if you don't have the monies to buy a car, yes, you're perhaps going to need to use the financial institution. But I must stress the point. Do you need a BMW or do you need a cheap car that can get you from point A to point B? And my advice is rather get the cheap car, but a car that your pocket can afford. Because many times the people that you want to impress are people that don't even like you. So therefore, don't do that. Think as young as you are. Think in decades. Think in, or rather shall I say, think futuristically. Ask yourself the question, when I'm 40 or I'm 50, don't I want to have a good lifestyle? And my answer will be, yes, you do. But if you're going to start handling your finances from like that, apart from you getting into financial trouble, you're going to bring a lot of stress upon your psyche.
Yeah.
Your body is going to become anxious. You perhaps can get sick on top of that. You're going to become miserable, friends. Don't do that. Don't live like that.
I was telling this one guy, a friend of mine, that if you get a bond and it's 30% of your salary, so if you earning 20,000 and get a bond and you're paying basically 6,000 every month, that bond comes with other things it comes with your rates, it comes with electricity, it comes with having a budget for fixing certain things. But now, not only that, but now it comes with the neighborhood. Where are you staying? Your children, where are they going to go to crèche? In terms of transport, in terms of the car that you're driving, in terms of fuel now from work to work. It comes with other things or other expenses, your family. So that 6,000 rand that you're paying for the bond, it's not just that 6,000, but at the same time, there's 6,000 for the bond, there's municipality, there's lights, there's water, there's children that need to go to crèche, there's school, there's and there's so many other things. So the other big mistake that I've seen with people is buying an expensive property.
Yes. Correct.
Is that true? Is that the case also?
That is definitely true. And it's like I explained with the car.
Yeah.
When you're starting off, property is very important to own. It is more important than to own a car.
Yeah.
Now I understand that you need wheels to commute from point A to point B, but property will bring you money in your pocket one day. Because there's a thing in property called equity. And let's say, for argument's sake, you buy a house at 500,000 rand and you maintain that bond property. And as time goes on, it grows to 600,000, 700,000, 1 million. You can have 500,000 rand equity in that property, which is cash in your pocket.
Yeah.
So if you sell the property, you get 500,000 rand. Okay, let's exclude for now. We won't get into it. But maybe you have to pay some small amounts in taxes and so forth. But if you wanted to take a loan from the bank and the bank sees that you could qualify for the loan, they could give you that 500,000 rand. But then you can't be irresponsible with how you utilize that 500,000, because if you're irresponsible, instead of becoming rich, you're going to end up becoming totally broke.
Yeah.
And perhaps not even having that house, because the house will get repossessed. Yeah. So you got to, my advice is, when you're starting, don't let somebody fool you and tell you the bond is 6,000 rand, like Tebogo was saying. There's other charges. Sit and add. See if you can afford it. Think before you ink. Don't just go there with blinkers. And thereafter, when you made the right decision, pursue that.
Wow, I love that. Think before you ink. Make sure that you think before you sign that contract. Make sure that you think first and get your numbers straight before you basically get yourself into too much debt. Because I think that's the biggest problem with people that are getting into a job. They get into too much debt using so many other things.
That is the truth. That is the truth.
Right. Any other last words that maybe you want to share with people that are listening?
Yeah, sure. What I want to say is always chase property.
Yeah.
And go for a property that you can afford. Don't live beyond your means, because that's how you get into trouble. And don't worry at the BMW when you're starting off. If your parents are rich and they can buy you that, fine. If you got a sufficient income and you can afford it, fine. But look at the BMW maybe a few years later. And what I've learned from experience is, what I've learned from experience is that if you do it the right way, eventually you can be able to have nice cars all the way.
Yeah.
Moving forward.
Yeah.
So in my view, you rather have nice cars all the way as opposed to destroying your foundational level
Yeah.
and not even having nice cars ahead. So what I'm saying in a nutshell, always think.
I love that. Think before you ink. Dinesh, any how do people get in contact with you if they maybe love your message and they want to follow you? How do they get to do
Yeah,
that?
sure. Thank you for that, Tebogo. You can contact me on Facebook. My first name is Dinesh. It's Dinesh. My last name is Haribhai. It's Haribhai. Or alternatively, you can contact me on 083-279-5943. I'd love to get your feedback.
I love that. All right. So yes, please give us some feedback. What do you think of this video? If you maybe love it, click on the like button. Comment below. What are some of the things that you've seen that people are struggling with? What are some of the pitfalls that people are experiencing in their careers at the start of their careers? And also, if you love maybe a certain thing that you had from this interview, maybe comment below and share with us what did you learn, what did you discover, and what are some of the things that you loved from this interview. But otherwise, we'll see you on the next video. Cheers.